Hi, I'm Mike Hogue of Lily House Permaculture. It's been a couple years since we've done a video tour, a quick video tour of our Urban Permaculture site, our main site that we operate our business out of. So I thought I'd take a few minutes to do one this morning. It's looking pretty beautiful here, so it should be a good time to show you around. To start with, we have about an acre in downtown Kalamazoo, and our goal for the site was really to be able to enable a regenerative lifestyle and a set of right livelihoods that would support us. To grow a large percentage of our own food, have the ability to really grow almost all of our own food if it became necessary, and we wanted to prove that point. Reduce our reliance on the global corporate system for meeting as many of our needs as possible. Catch and infiltrate water, sequester carbon and fight climate change, and increase soil and ecological health while still meeting our needs here on this site, and not just creating an environment that will help us survive, but really to enable us to thrive and enjoy ourselves and enjoy life. So, as it is, most of this site is managed in some way as agroforestry or agroecology systems. You could call it one large forest garden if you like, even though really it's a tapestry of different kinds of agroecologies, edible forest garden guilds that combine together into a larger forest garden. So a really good model of what we're doing here, or what we aim for, is this edible hedgerow system that we have, that you're looking at right here, which is modeled after one of the places that we used to really love to go to forage. And so we were spending a ton of time gardening and working our butts off on our conventional garden, and meanwhile we'd go foraging at this bike trail, and we'd find that we had fruits and vegetables all through the season from this place. All different kinds of berries, and we were going there and we'd fill buckets, and we were almost never alone. There were other people always foraging there alongside us. And we figured out that, gee, nobody was doing any work, any maintenance on the system whatsoever, and we were still harvesting more from this than we were harvesting from our home vegetable garden. We figured out that's what we wanted to be doing some at home, so we copied that here. We have vegetables like this perennial bulbing fennel that we've been harvesting. It's just started to bolt, but you can still harvest those. These beautiful edible roses that you see throughout with beautiful edible rose hips. We just harvested a bunch of the rose petals for rose water yesterday morning. Asian pears through here, which are setting some nice fruit and can handle this kind of hedgerow management well. Cherries, hazelnuts. There is one peach that doesn't really properly belong in something like this, but it's working pretty well. There's strawberries, asparagus, Good King Henry through there, some other interesting things. There's medlars, and mostly it's been extremely easy to manage. Once every several years we'll probably come through and give it a hard pruning, and that's pretty much all the maintenance that it requires. It's a really nice system. I just wanted to give a close-up of these beautiful rugosa roses. So this is just the standard rubra, and the bees just love this, and we do too. And here we have a set of guilds. This one has an apricot and a pear. We love this apricot because it also has a sweet pit, so we get almonds in Michigan and a really nice tasting apricot together. You can tell this is really close to our door, so this area is also pretty conventional herb garden, so we can pop out, grab a whole variety of salad plants and fresh herbs for eating. Down here we have two guilds with plums, and this plum guild is looking pretty nice here. We haven't had tremendous fruit sets on any of these yet. You see, we bag the fruit so we don't have to spray. People always love that idea. These are just little wedding paper bags. You can get them pretty cheap. And here's this lovely guild. These beautiful blue flowers up front are one of the plants that Ken Fernless is one of his favorite salad plants. The flowers are quite tasty, and the leaves are nice too. That's Campanula persicifolia. So you also see our main vegetable garden, which probably doesn't look like many other people's vegetable gardens. It's managed with a high amount of perennials and habitat plants, which we chop and drop or slash mulch as we need to make room for things that need it. As you see here, we have a cutting of a nice perennial variegated Dalvington kale coming in here, and it needs more shade, so it's happy with the shade of these beautiful valerian flowers for the moment. Later, that valerian will make a wonderful mulch around that plant when it can use more sun later in the season. We use a lot of really heavy mulching in around our annual vegetables that we plant. You can probably see a few kales in there, some garlic. See, we've got peas over here. You know what this is? The most beautiful plant in our garden this time of year is sage. This produces these beautiful flowers. We've seen the hummingbirds visit them, and as you can tell, a ton of bees and other butterflies. Here we see these annual beds where we have the peas back there surrounded in with a bunch of perennials like perennial fennel, perennial alliums, perennial medicinal herbs all over the place. Several different kinds of perennial sorrel are really nice here. Feverfew is just starting to go to flower when we'll harvest that as well. There are butterflies and moths and bees and pollinators all over the garden here today. It's looking quite beautiful. It's our edible meadow system, which contains about a dozen varieties of edible plants. They're happy competing in with long grasses. The long grasses are great to have around for habitat, and they help soak up excess nitrogen, so it's really nice to have those. And then we use that system to slash mulch. We're experimenting with it this year, to plant in three sisters in a really low input, low output, or moderate output system. They'll maintain the soil diversity, the plant diversity, and soil fertility over time without fertilization or anything. So far we've got good germination. It's looking really positive. We can see some corn coming up there. So this will be a bed of three sisters: corn, beans, and squash. Just standing up here to get an overall view of the garden, surrounded by that linear forest garden system. Has 8 fruit tree guilds, mostly things that are disease resistant, and we bag the fruit anyway up here. We've got basically 6 beds devoted to annual rotation, so we rotate in a pretty standard rotation. And this is the entryway to our much more extensive garden. You see blackberries, some wild roses, elderberries coming in here, and this beautiful garden arch that people always compliment us on, leading into the garden. And we see a lot of vegetable beds, like our hedgerow concept from the front yard. If it's back here, we really want it to be growing in a polyculture where all we do is harvest it, and we're really not doing much at all to tend it. So we have things that are really wild, like asparagus, Turkish rocket, sweet rocket, good King Henry again, sweet grass, sorrels, potatoes perennialize back here really well. We have some beds where we're growing nursery stock in addition to our nursery area over there. We have persimmons. We actually have persimmon setting fruit for the first year, so it'll be exciting to see if they ripen up in our climate. Another bed with asparagus and strawberries and other perennials. We have gummies in here. Some areas where we do slash mulch for a few extra things. Annuals, lovage, romance cherries, quinces, lots of native herbs. There are more natives back here. Gooseberries, currants, honeyberries, highbush cranberries, cornelian cherries, ground nuts, blackberries, black raspberries, more of our edible rugosa roses, hazelnuts, sand cherry, pawpaws, which flowered a lot this season in their 5th year. Well, that's it.